Hello, welcome to the Wargamer. I'm your host, Rob, and this is going to be an exciting video because we're talking rumors. I don't normally do rumors, although this is a rumor / leak, which is quite exciting, for the Iron Jaws, or the Orruk Warclans, I guess, is that's not actually Iron Jaws, it's Orruk Warclans, so I think everyone's going to be mad at me immediately. What am I talking about? I'm not going to gild the lily. Let's get straight into it, and let's talk about what this might mean. So over here, over here, you can see a box that has been leaked / given out at the wrong time / sent to a store early, whatever it might be, or thanks to our lovely Games Workshop intern, put on the internet for us, whatever it might be. So here you can see we've got a Hobgrot Slitter Boss as a miniature. And then there are a few more pictures. All these pictures that I have are on my Blue Sky account. If you want to go check it out, it's at 6DiceSkills. That's me. There you go. So come and join me. Come and follow me. That'd be cool. Give me a follow. Anyway, a Hobgrot Slitter Boss. All right, what do we make of this? Cool. If you remember Age of Sigmar 3, especially early Age of Sigmar 3, a lot of what we got when it came to updates was just single hero releases. Normally, they were locked inside FOMO boxes. So this is different to that paradigm. Normally, what we used to see would be a versus box, very much kind of like the Skaven type box, where you'd see Skaven battling against Stormcast, and there would be a single new character. That's what we would get. This, being released solo on its own, is actually pretty spicy, and it might mean that we're moving away from that FOMO box kind of system, which I think worked really well for Games Workshop, but was pretty rubbish for us as consumers, especially as they normally put something pretty good about those characters, not all of them, but sometimes some of them, into those units. And therefore, you kind of needed to pick up the box, but you end up buying a bunch of stuff you already had anyway. So I'm hopeful, very hopeful, that we're moving away from the FOMO box situation. And the fact that this model is in this box could well indicate that we are at that stage. Let's move on to Kruleboyz. Kruleboyz have long been rumored to have a Wave 2 in the works. Very similar to what we saw with Lumineth, where they had a Wave 1, and they pretty quickly had a Wave 2. In this situation, we may well be having a Kruleboyz Wave 2 deal. Now, there's been lots of talk about lots of different units, and if you go back and look at the Kruleboyz range, it's actually pretty thin when you're talking about these armies. We also had this kind of very weird drop pre-Age of Sigmar 3, pre-Age of Sigmar 4, at the end of Age of Sigmar 3, where we got all of the new Urruks, all of the new Iron Jaws, in this kind of weird free Battletome PDF situation that we also got. So they never do free rules, so they did free rules, and we got a Wave 2 of Iron Jaws. We got all the big pigs, we got the Ragers as an example, we got new Ardboys. But it was a very, very odd and very weirdly timed release because it was at the end of the edition. The rules weren't going to be out for very long. And then also there wasn't a lot of fanfare around it. It was just like, oh, by the way, Wave 2 of Iron Jaws, which is very odd. So now I'm thinking maybe we're going to get Wave 2 of Kruleboyz. Maybe that is a little bit too much hype. But also it does, to me, say that the next Battletome that we're going to see in January is going to be this book, the Orruk Warclans. So if we go look at the roadmap, I know this is going to give you a headache because this is very difficult to take in emotionally. But if we throw the bones on the ground and we decipher this graphic, that way does lie madness. But once you've recovered, you can see that there will be some armies released in 2025. The rumors are that the next two armies to be released in 2025 will be a Destruction one and a Chaos one. And if I was going to be a betting man, if you were going to be on the stonks market, my bet is that we are now going to see Orruk Warclans, and my other bet, because of a recent update in a battle scroll, is we're going to see Nurgle. Those are my two bets at the moment. I could be wrong, obviously, so take that with a pinch of salt, but those are my two current bets. So the big question is, what do you think about those as releases? The other thing to talk about is the miniature, I guess, but I'm a little bit past being excited about a single foot character for Age of Sigmar that's going to cost £20 to £30. It's just not something that's interesting to me. If the rules are good and they're fun enough, I'll just use a regular Hobgrot that I'll stick a fancy hat on. I'm not overly stressed about this as a full miniature. I don't think it's particularly great or stunning. Maybe that's just because Games Workshop have like absolutely broken my brain and maybe only centerpiece focused. Like it's not a Nagash or a giant, a giant centerpiece model. So why should I care? But there's loads of other like smaller models I do like. I just think this is a bit of a nothing burger personally. But I would like to know what you think. I am with the Twitch chat right now, and I'm asking them what they think about it as a release. The other weird thing about this specific release is it does show Orruk Warclans, which means it does mean that we are unfortunately still going to have that combined Orruk, Ironjaws, and Cruel Boys book, which I personally find quite disappointing. I know there's a lot of people with Orruk collections, especially a lot of people who played Big War in the last edition, who are very excited that those collections can maintain themselves and play a little bit of either. But I think you would get a little bit more diversity in builds, and you could focus a little bit more on those individual clans. Very much like it would be similar to saying Ideneth and Lumineth are basically the same. Just put them together. They're just basically the same. Put them in the Elves book. But I think it's a much better situation to have them both with their own individual identity, which I think is really good. I would much prefer to see the Orruk Warclans book be separated out so that they have more of a both in-game identity, but also they become more of their own like unique brand. Instead of saying someone, I play Orruk Warclans, you could be like, I'm a Cruel Boys player. I would never play those dumb Ironjaws. And then Ironjaws players can headbutt them. Which I think is the right situation. Yes. And also another good point, thank you to Phil in the chat, is that one of the things about these releases, specifically like little foot characters, is with the way that we currently do list building in Age of Sigmar 4, these are less interesting than they were previously, because the way you build regiments in Age of Sigmar 4, which are always led by a hero, that means that unless this hero ends up being one of the free ones that you can take in a regiment, you're actually making your list more drops, and therefore not as impactful as if it was less drops. And generally these heroes normally have like some Garbo rules as well, where it's this guy will fight simultaneously with a unit of Hobgrot Slitters, maybe giving them +1 to hit. And we see not many of those units end up being taken in the game. Even when we go back and look at the new Skaven releases, and we got Kritok, the new awesome like Skaven Storm Vermin hero, again, not used a lot at the moment. Anyway, not much more to say about this other than title and headline is probably within the next 2.5 years, there will be an Orruk Warclan book. But maybe, God, this is awful, I apologize. Maybe it's going to be this in the first quarter of 2025, which I do genuinely believe it's going to be first quarter 2025. There's also, I forgot something. There is also a rumor, and I can't find it in the community article, but there is also a rumor that there is going to be endless spells. And with the release of the Stormcast terrain feature, which I genuinely thought terrain features and endless spells were going by the wayside, there was going to be no more of that. So there is also a rumor, because on one of the articles it said, for Orruk Warclans, I hope you like feet, or something's afoot. That was like in quotation marks, which means I think we're going to get a physical Foot of Gork model, most likely a couple of other endless spells as well. So I think we're going to see Orruk Warclans endless spells, which means we might also see some terrain features as well. And so let's all have some fun. In the comments below, let me know what sort of terrain feature would be good for Ironjaws and also for Cruel Boys. Which of them would you be interested in? We know that Ironjaws use their metal. Look at me, the lore nerd. They get their metal from pig iron, which is the gore grunters when they defecate. There you go. When they crap, they get the metal out and they shine it up and they put it on them. That's how that works. The poops. So they use poop armor, and then the Cruel Boys look like they're painted in poops. I think is the excellent answer. No, but like, you know, maybe you could get like the Foundry. That's what I'm trying to say for the Iron Jaws, for their metal. We've obviously got the Anvil Smasher model. So now a Foundry would be cool as well. And it would be a nice, like, ironic mirroring of like Dwarven culture, which I think would be quite fun. And then for Cruel Boys, I think, I don't know what maybe like a big cage or a net where they hold people could be cool as well. But let me know in the comments below what you think. And also let me know what you think about this release and the rumors. And if you've heard anything else either, it'd be really exciting. I hope we see some big updates. Both those two armies need probably a little bit of a rules adjustment as well. So it'd be fun to see that. Thanks for watching my video. See you soon. Bye.